Harbor Freight tire changer. Tired of paying people to do your own tires? Let's see if it's worth doing it yourself. Here's what the Jeep used to look like before the install of 33s, and I'm yet to see anybody install 33s using this tire changer on YouTube, so I decided to make a video. Here's the Jeep after the upgraded tire mount. Hopefully you enjoy this instructional video. This year, Santa Claus decided to give me some 33 12.5/15s, KO1s, BFGoodriches. I went online and ordered some 15x8 Trailmaster wheels with a large offset, back spacing from full parts. See it sticking out on this test fit right here. With no further ado, let's get to installing these wheels on the machine. It's a little tricky putting the, what's called the centering pin through the lug hole so that the wheel doesn't turn. Some WD-40 silicone spray to lube the tire up to put it on the wheel. Don't use soap, palm olive, just scratch that. It's going to be a pain in the ass. Throwing the tire on top of the wheel. Excuse me if I don't have the correct nomenclature for these parts that we're pushing down on top of the wheel. But basically, we're just sandwiching the wheel to the tire machine so it doesn't go anywhere. One of the problems with this tire changer is that you need to make sure it's mounted to the ground. On other YouTube videos, some guys have boards, pallets. Some guy even mounts it to his hitch in the back of his bumper. In this video, I don't do that, and I will walk you through how to do it without it being mounted to the ground, but remind you, it's a pain in the ass. If you've been following along with the video, you'll notice here, basically I just start pounding the rod around the lip, or use a rubber mallet and just beat the crap out of it. Once I get as far as I can, I just pry it over. Is it the official way of doing it? Hey. As a matter of fact, this is not the official way of doing it. You have to go to Les Schwab, Costco, a tire shop, and they'll do it for you. But if you are in a shitty situation and you want to do it yourself, you don't have the money, you have this handy, do it. By all means. Lube up the top, beat the crap out of it, and get that rod all the way around the upper lip. And just go to town. Nothing else much to say here. It's probably 10 o'clock at night. I'm beating the shit out of this tire. The neighbors are just hating my guts. If you'll notice, the mount is just moving around like crazy. If it was mounted to the ground, it'd be a little bit easier. So, you'll notice I stick a pry bar into the bead separator. Yeah, stick a breaker bar in the bead separator and strap some straps to it. Basically, when you're beating the rod, spinning it around the lip, you can cinch it tighter with the straps so you don't lose your place in the tire. Now here I am taking the lip, prying it over. So you don't damage the bead, you should be pushing the front of the tire into the drop zone. I know I'm not explaining it that well in this video, but look up pushing the tire into the drop zone of the wheel so you don't damage it. Here I am taking some valve stems. It might have been smarter to take these valve stems and put them in at the beginning of putting them on the wheel before I put the tire on. You'll see why here in a second. Putting the valve stem on. I don't have the proper tools, so I use vice grips. Put the cap on, pull it through, and voila. One of the reasons why you put the valve stem on ahead of time is so you don't lose the valve stem in the tire. Yeah, because I lost the valve stem in the tire, spent the next hour, stick my hand in there and pry it out. And in the end, I just had to take the whole tire off just to get it out. Next, you're going to need to seat the bead. I didn't get a video of this, but basically, I went to a gas station and used their compressor because I didn't have a strong enough compressor. In fact, their compressor wasn't even strong enough. I ended up going to Les Schwab and tricked them into thinking I was just putting some PSI in my car. But really, I seated my bead. By the time they figured it out, they were pretty pissed off. Les Schwab. In the end, I'm happy with the end result. Will I use this tire changer again? I'll probably head to Les Schwab and just pay him to do it. One of the things is these wheels aren't necessarily balanced. I'm going to use tire balance beads. But I gotta tell you what, man, these tires, I don't know if it's BFGs, they come pretty true. And these wheels are pretty heavy, but I tell you what, I have usually a death wobble, and it's gone away.